back to my channel, Life as Maya. That note is still a little off. You know, last week I was recovering from sickness. I went to Thanksgiving and all the kids were sniffling. Even the parents was. All the aunts, the uncles, everybody just sniffling. My mom was sick, my sisters were sick. So I was like, I can't recover for no reason because came back Sunday, still had a little cough, a little sneeze. But I am better. You guys are probably like, why are you back in that bed then? But honestly, I am doing Cookmas. So that's what I'm like doing. Like, I'm trying to post a recipe every single day or just something to do with food every single day. And this is like getting very December-ish and stuff. And it's my PJ set that I'm recording in later. So I was like, why not just go in bed? It was cute. It was cozy. I will be moved back to the couch, but I liked my PJ set. And I was like, this is another just honestly a cute, comfy conversation that I didn't feel the need to like get serious. You know what? Life is Maya is life is Maya. We're going to show up wherever. We're going to film wherever we decide to. But I hope to do Vlogmas so that you guys are getting more than a weekly post from me this month. My goal is to post every Sunday. But even this weekend, like, I'm going back home to visit my mom for her 50th birthday. And I would love... oops. And I would love to, you know, vlog that whole experience. So I'm hoping I can get it out by Sunday at 7 p.m. But that will literally be me recording and then editing in real time. But, you know, we're going to figure it out. We're going to do it. Let me make sure I'm not exposing myself too much. But yeah, we're going to figure out how we're going to do it. Anyways, how was you guys' Thanksgiving? Like, how was it? We are officially in December now, but last week was Thanksgiving. I'm sure you got to see your family. I hope you showed up new. If you don't get that reference, go watch the last episode. This Thanksgiving was really good for me. I need to stop saying this Thanksgiving was really good for me. I was so surprised by just how, well, smooth is interesting, but everything did go smooth. Like, Thanksgiving went perfect. I was able to show up new and felt accepted. And like I said, this Thanksgiving just felt different because my family had so much more to be grateful for. So I wasn't really concerned with a lot of things, but it just went so good. And I was just so grateful to see so many of my family, my cousins, my dad's side, my mom's side. I saw so many people, and it just really, really like recharged me. It showed me how important family is and how I'm so grateful to have the family I have. My family is humongous. My husband was just like, bro, when I think I've met everyone, there's somebody else. And I'm like, yeah, half of the time. Like, I have my immediate family, and I have a circle outside of that, which is already about 50 people. And then once you go beyond that, it's like, I'll know faces. Sometimes I don't remember names. Like, my family's huge. Like, when I say it's huge, my family is huge. So grateful, but it's a whole bunch of ripping and running the entire weekend. So I am kind of happy to go back home this weekend for my mom's 50th, just to like, woosah a little, be with my siblings, be with just, I don't know, just calmer environment. But Thanksgiving was good. I have zero complaints. Yeah, no. I hope you guys saw a little bit of my dynamic with my family. In the last video I just posted of our Family Feud vlog, you can easily see how crazy we can get in that video. So, but it was just so much fun, like really, really good. But yeah, we're in December now, guys. It's December 1st. Well, this is being recorded on December 1st. You'll see this on December 3rd. And yeah, we're in a new month. We're in a new month. We're in the holiday season, and I'm excited for December. Christmas is probably like my second favorite holiday. Christmas is my favorite holiday for a couple of reasons. The reason to celebrate Jesus' birth, the coziness of it, how family comes together, the gift giving. Like, I love thoughtful gifts. So, like, you know, really thinking about what I want to get my husband, my friends, my family, and then like watching them open it. Like, the wrapping honestly is the funnest part to me. Just like those little things. This is my first year married. during Christmas. So like I got my husband some stuff I'm very excited for him to get. And we're doing a small Christmas because our first year married is in February, and we're like, we need a little trip or something. So we're trying to be smart and save money. All the things you don't care about. I don't even know why I'm going into this tangent, because truly this video has nothing to do with that. So I'm just gonna, let's just go. Let's get into what we're talking about today. I was trying to do a little catch up with y'all, but I need to get better at framing how I'm gonna do my catch ups weekly. Alright, so on today's episode, we're talking about being a villager. I feel like our generation has lost the art of what it is to be a good villager. Everybody wants to have a village. I feel like some people don't even see the luxury of it, of having a village is. Like, I feel like everybody's like romanticizing being alone and loneliness. And I'm like, there is a time to be secluded and, be by yourself and get to know yourself. But like, why is that something that we're like glorifying when having a village is actually so much more beautiful? I know how it feels to have a village. Currently now, I love the village I've created, but I've also known how it feels to not have a village and not have people you can trust and not have people you can call and go to. Like, that wasn't a fun time for me. I think it taught me how to be alone, but if I had to pick one of the two, I'm choosing the village every single time. So we're just going to get into a couple topics that I feel like are important. And before I feel like I can even speak on what it is to be a villager, and when I say villager, I'm just saying like what it is to just be a good friend, like a good best friend, a good associate, a good anyone. Like, if you are a part of the village, obviously, like, there's some parts of your village that you're really, really close and intimate, but there are other parts that, you don't go visit and see every day in that village, but like you still need to learn how to be just a good villager. So when I say good villager, this whole video, just know I'm talking about just being a good friend. Honestly, just being a good person. But we're going to talk about friendships. So my history with friendships is not necessarily complicated, because I don't think anything I've experienced with friendships, and mainly I'm talking about friendships with other women, because I've experienced friendships with men, but never like in a very, very close like proximity. Like, I've never had like a boy best friend. I've always had girl best friends and girl close friends, but never like a boy best friend. So this video is mainly surrounded by women anyways. This is for the girls. Basically, my history with friendships, I really got my closest relationship, my first closest relationships were in middle school. There was 3 other girls, and I always, still to this day, I've always had like friends scattered outside of like my intimate group. But there was, it's so funny because there's Erica, Jada, and Mashara, Jada, and Erica. Those are like my first 3 closest girlfriends. And if you're watching this, hey, I'm sure you're not though. But I really, like, I have no complaints. That was the first time I got to experience like just true, genuine friendship, and they were so genuine. There was no jealousy in that friendship. It was just pure bliss, just 4 innocent girls. Everybody knew, like, when you saw them, we would see, if you saw them, you saw me. If you saw, you guys get what I'm saying. We were always seen with each other. And then I moved from Georgia to Virginia, so, like, we pretty much lost contact, which is so sad. We still follow each other on social media, but, like, we don't talk as much. And now those 3, I still see that they have, like, that deep connection and, friendship, at least through social media. And I'm like, I definitely feel like we would have all grown old together, because that friendship was just so pure, so innocent, so nice. And that was like the purest form of women friendship that I've ever experienced. So my mind was always shaped around that. Like, I've always desired those types of friendships. Like, I'm like, okay, those girls were genuine. What reason do I have to believe that not all women in the world are like this? Like, in elementary, I did have a little bit of trauma with friendships, but they were just bullies. Not necessarily like friends. It was just like girls who were bullies and would try to bully me. Moving into high school, I began to have like a lot of friends, but none of them were as like deep, I would say, or like substance. I had one best friend in high school, and that friendship has taught me a lot, even still to this day, and like how I carry myself. I feel like because I was looking for what I had in middle school, I was just like, once I found that, I like clinged to her, and I was very territorial. That's, I can admit, like I was very territorial when it came to her. I wasn't, because we were so different but still alike in so many ways. I just expected her to be my perfect twin. We should do everything together. We should think the same. And when we didn't think the same, it would cause a lot of friction. And we were going through normal high school things that, like, some things I wouldn't necessarily stand for, but she would, and that should have been okay. She should have been. Oh God, this mic is like pulling me down, so I'm just gonna hold the mic because it's like pulling my shirt down, and I don't want to be exposed. But there were certain things that it was okay if we didn't agree on, but because she didn't think the same way I did, or because she was allowing things that I wouldn't have, I would take it personally, which I would never do in a friendship today, because it's not even separating their actions from the friend. It's just they're going through something. Allow them to get through it. The lesson that needs to be learned for their life, they will learn. You trying to be president of their life, or like Mrs. Teacher and Mrs. Wise Girl, it's only going to cause friction between you and your friend. So I learned so much of that friendship, and we did have like a huge falling out once I got to college. And then I want to say 2 years ago, I reached out to her and I just basically apologized and told her, like, what I think of a lot of what has taught me to be a good friend. Like, you are so much a part of that, and I would just hate to like move in this world with tension to someone like I truly, loved and still cared for. And her response was like, same energy. She apologized, and now like we don't talk every day at all, but like, birthdays, we say happy birthday, and like when things are happening, she congratulates me. We interact a little on social media, and it just feels so much better to know, yeah, we may not ever be best friends again, but the fact that we can move on in peace and not this weird tension, and I feel guilt for who I was, it just felt really better. It just felt really good that we could reconcile in that way. And I don't know, maybe I will see her one day, maybe I never will, but I now know, like, there's no anxiety if I ever have to run into her again. I know the air is clear and we're good. But yeah, so I definitely learned from being a bad friend how to be a good friend, I guess, in a sense, through her. I think having tough conversations in high school with friends has taught me the importance of friendship, but also like giving as much energy into your friendships as you would a relationship. Maybe not. Well, no, I think it's not necessarily like an amount. I think you give effort into any relationship you're in, whether platonic or romantic, but the effort might look differently, if that makes sense. So I cherish my girlfriends because these are the girls that, like, I don't know, there will simply, like, you cannot compare a partner's love and a women, like a girl friendship relationship. It is so different. There are parts of me that, like, no one outside of my husband will ever get, and it's just that. And there are ways I will love him that I don't think I'll ever love anyone else. But it's the same with my, my close girls. Like, there are parts of me that they just get. Like, there's conversations that I have with them, and I'm just like, men don't get to experience this. Like, men don't get to experience this. And they maybe do on some other level, but there's just like, it's so undescribable, but it's such a beautiful feeling to know that I get to experience love in a multitude of ways, and I don't have to confine it to this one definition. And because of that, I feel like I'm not making sense right now. That's what I feel like, actually. I feel like I'm just going on a tangent. But because of that, I feel so safe in my friendships now, and I just feel safe to be who I am. I feel to come in my friendships as who I am and be able to, learn from the girls I'm around, teach the girls I'm around, just gain things from the girls I'm around. And when I say that, it could just be as simple as like just gaining a laugh, just being with my girls, gaining a shoulder to cry on. Like, it's not even always like, what can they give me or what can I give them? It's just the beauty of girl friendships are just undescribable. So it really like baffles me when people are romanticizing not having a lot of friends, or not even a lot of friends, because there's a quote, or my friend always tells me, her parents told her, if you find 1 to 2 good friends, then you're lucky, because finding good friendships it's not an easy thing, and I know that. But when people try to like be like, I'm just a flaker. I don't like making plans with friends. I'd rather be at home alone by myself. Okay, maybe there's a season for that, but there's so much beauty in having a lot of friends. I'm like, why would you want to miss this? Why would you want to miss this? So anyways, yeah, that pretty much sums up my history with friendships. I have story times for days, but maybe I will never share them. I don't know, because I understand what it is to not always be the good friend. I understand what it is to have experience being the bad friend, and I would hate for somebody to judge me on that person I was when I've grown to be such a better person. So I just gave the context to say, like, I have not always been a good friend. I've not always had a community. I've experienced pure friendships. I've experienced friendships that's had jealousy in it, and how much of a turmoil that can take on you. And I've also now experienced what it is to just be in friendships that I know are genuine, that I know are filled with love, that they just get me. And I can truly say I'm a better person because of those friendships. Like, if I didn't have the friends that I had, now I don't know who I would be. And it makes me sad to even think if I just had to live life without a village. Like, I love my village. So anyways, here's just a few things I think of why creating community has been lost. No one wants to show up. Oh my God, I get it. Sometimes I make plans 2 days later. I'm like, why would I do that? Why would I do that? And no one wants to show up, and everybody's making it okay not to show up. There's a balance. There has to be duality in this. Because sometimes, if you don't have the mental capacity, if you don't have the money, if you don't have the time to show up, those are okay. But making it okay to always not show up for friends and then expecting them to do the same to you, that's a problem. And you cannot build community on that. And also, I think we only think it's important to show up when it's convenient. It's also important to show up for your friends even when it's inconvenient. 9 times out of 10, it probably will be inconvenient. We all live such busy lives. Not every time your friend wants you to show up for a birthday dinner. Not every time your friend wants you to come just chill on their couch or go get coffee or do a walk or take them to the airport. More than likely, it won't be a convenient time. But that doesn't excuse not showing up. So yeah, I think that is a part of why community is lost, because people just simply don't want to show up and they think it's okay not to. How do you expect to build a community when you don't even want to show up for the community? Like, it's okay to not always say yes. It's okay to say no. But it's not okay to think these people should show up and these people should know who I am and these people should just accept me for who I am. They know I'm going to flake. Maybe we will accept you for that. But will you have the community that you desire? I'm not sure. Yeah, that just goes into the next point I put. Being alone is being romanticized. If everybody in the world desires to just be alone, and we just make it a thing of like, oh, yep, there's so much beauty in being alone. Like, I just love my alone time. I just want to enjoy my rent this weekend. Of course, community will never happen. If everybody thinks it's okay to just be alone, where's the community going to be? And it is okay to be alone. Sometimes. But sometimes it's okay to invite your friends over. Sometimes it's okay to go look in another human being's eyes and have a conversation with them. Like, I don't think we were designed to always be alone. And, like, so many people are, like, trying to force that narrative. And I honestly just don't get it. Like, I can't really speak to why people desire to be alone a lot, because I don't. I desire alone time. I love when I get to be around other people and hear them talk and, just engage in good conversation. Like, I love good conversations and laughs. And I could not imagine not desiring that. So I don't really know, but I think that's another reason community is being lost. People don't catch up as much because of social media. We have lost the art of catching up. Like, sometimes people will not even ask me about things because they're like, oh, I saw you posted on social media. You saw me post pictures. You didn't hear about the funny thing that happened at the event. You didn't hear about when I was getting ready how I spilled something on me and then I had to go to TJ Maxx and grab this. Like, you don't even know the details of the event because you didn't ask, because you assumed you knew everything. Oh, I saw it went well because you posted it. Of course of course I'm going to post a highlight of it. But even like, not even the small things that always like went wrong. Like, you didn't even hear about the great big details that I didn't post because it wasn't captured on camera, because we were in the moment and we were having fun. And I don't know, I just feel like that part is so interesting to me, because even if I see something on social media, like, I'm going to ask my friend, like, oh, how did that go? Or, did you enjoy that? Let me hear the details. Like, I love catching up. And maybe call me nosy, I don't know. But in order to build, I think community is built through conversation, obviously, but it's built through vulnerability. It's built through, like, you ever have a conversation with someone and you like peel back layers and you're like, wow, like, I've learned so much more about you, and you feel more comfortable with them. But that only comes through those like sacred conversations. And sometimes they just start off by a simple catch up. Like, we start off talking about what you did last week, but then I end up talking about how you don't like your daddy. Okay, that's probably not a good example. Sorry. But we start off with what the point is. We start off with a simple catch up that turns into something so much deeper, and you're like, wow, I love you even more now. Because I know so much about you, and now I feel comfortable sharing so much about myself because I know that you thought I was a safe space. So hopefully you thought I was a safe space and you feel comfortable enough to share with me, and that allows me to put walls down and share with you as well. The community has been lost because also we know, well, I've learned that it's not natural for everyone to initiate hangouts and be the host. Like, because it is for me, I don't understand why other people, it's not an instinct for other people. Like, it's a natural thing. If I haven't seen my friends in 2 weeks, I'm going to reach out and ask to hang out. Or if there's a holiday coming up, I probably will try to automatically start planning stuff. So when people don't do that, I feel like I've pulled back for sure, because I'm like, well, maybe they don't care. And I've learned that it's not that they don't care. I just think that it's not a natural thing for everybody to host or to initiate hangouts. And not everyone thinks the way that I do. However, even if that's not a strength of yours, I feel like you should still make it a priority to, if your friend has initiated the last 10 hangouts, maybe invite them to coffee. Maybe you initiate the FaceTime. Maybe you don't need to, maybe you're never going to want to host, but maybe just ask them, hey, the holidays are coming up. You have any plans? Should we make some? Like, I think those things are important. And community is being lost because it's easy to get burned out, or just honestly, it's easy to get in your head and be like, well, if they don't care, I don't care. And I'm not saying that's right, but it's not fair to always put the responsibility on one person to get the girls together, or one person to, make sure that they're pouring into the relationship. Any party involved in the relationship should have a part of watering it. And if watering it is sending a text of how are you, asking if they would like to hang out, hosting, checking in, any of those things, don't put that responsibility on one person. Nobody would want to be in a one-sided relationship, platonic or romantic. So that's another reason I feel like community is being lost, because people are feeling like, oh, well, if it doesn't come naturally to me, I shouldn't have to give the effort to it. And also the people who it does come naturally to, they're pulling back because they're like, why am I always the one who does it? And you might have two perfectly compatible friends who don't ever get to grow in their friendship because they have those two different mindsets. And it's not something that should be detrimental to a friendship. It's just something you have to put effort into. And that goes back into how friendships aren't always convenient. And most of the time, they can be inconvenient. But most of my friendship inconveniences always are like, turn out to be a good time. Like, they turn out to be, like, it sucks when you're put at an inconvenience that's like detrimental. But inconveniences that always turn out good, like, maybe I do have to get up early to get to the airport, but we've had a great conversation on the way there, and I'm feeling refreshed and refueled for my day. Like, I don't know, it's just like little things like that. So, and maybe there will be times that your friendship is simply just inconvenient. Like, your friend burst her tire and you have to go get it and you became late for work. Okay. It's okay. Hope you didn't lose a job, but like, it's okay. I'm sure your friend will do the same for you. Hopefully, if it's a healthy friendship. But why I think it's important. So after all this is said and done, after talking about my friendship, why I think community is lost, why do I even think having a village is important? For so many reasons. One, you need people to lean on. I think community is so important because I've learned so much through the community that I'm in. And I'm talking about like my personal life. I've learned so much about jobs. I've learned so much about just a way of living through the community. There's only so much you can learn in a room by yourself. And you also don't know how much you can impact other people. Like, the things you've been through, the things you know, like, those aren't just for you to hold on to and be selfish about. It's for you to spread. It's for you to spread love. And truly, you guys know I'm always going to bring God in this. Like, He designed us for community. Like, there's so many stories in the Bible where people have gotten to places because of the community that they've created. Like, the story of the one person who couldn't even walk, but his friends lifted him just so he could get to Jesus and get a miracle. Like, those are the people. Those are the people you need in your circle. Like, that is what community looks like. And, or like in Acts, where no one needed for anything because everyone had everything in common because they sold their things. And if you needed something, you knew that the community that you were in, they were going to help provide for you. And then the one time somebody tried to play with the community, y'all know how that story went. If you don't, I think it's in Acts 4. I think Sapphira and Ananias, that story. Look up that story. But just in general, like, community is so important for those reasons. And there's statistics. Hold on, I want to read a statistic actually. This says between 2014 and 2019, there were more than 800,000 deaths annually associated with loneliness and social disconnection. You may ask, loneliness and social isolation are risk factors for heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes, anxiety, depression, dementia, and early death. Now, I don't really know how that can impact heart disease, stroke, type 2 diabetes. But for anxiety and depression, like, there's been so many times when I've been alone and felt very lonely that I get into my head. But as soon as I speak those thoughts out to someone else, to a friend, to a sister, to a brother, to a mom, to a dad, whatever that community looks like to you, as soon as I speak those thoughts out, it's like the anxiety just moves off. And all the thoughts into my head that felt so overwhelming and felt like no one could relate, immediately someone else empathizes but also shows me, like, you're not crazy. I've been through this, and you know what you're going through is normal. And I find that when I'm alone and I'm just in my thoughts, that's when I do get the most anxious and feelings of depression. So I think most people naturally also just crave connection. And then where else are you going to find connection outside of community? There's just so many things that have happened in my life that I cannot attribute to other than being in community. Like, my everyday friends, my Bible study, my work friends. There's always someone in my life that I know that I can depend on and talk to, and I know that's a luxury. I know for sure that's a luxury, and I know that not everybody has that luxury. But this is not for the people who are desiring community and just feel like they can't find it. We can talk about that in a second. These are for the people who are saying, like, who truly are just like not putting effort into it because they feel like it's unimportant. And I'm like, it is. Or just for people who maybe don't even notice that they are not being a good villager. Whether that's not showing up for your friends, whether that's not, initiating hangouts, whether just being a good villager. Just show up. Just show up. That's where it really starts. To be a good villager, it starts by just showing up. 9 times out of 10, that is most of the things your friends really want for you. Just to show up. Whether it's by yourself, just to show up. But yeah, like, I look back at so much of my life and I'm like, because I truly am where I am because of the community that I have. Putting me in positions. Praying with me when I feel doubt. Showing me, saying out loud that you're not crazy. This is normal, what you're going through. And just being a sound ear for sound advice and all the things that comes with that. And it's important. And if you don't have that community and you're seeking for it, I know it's hard. I mean, I just listed all the reasons why so many people don't even think it's important. But just, do not be scared to put yourself out there. If you don't go, the first thing I can think of is, church and life groups and Bible studies. Sign up for one. I've met so many friends through those types of things. I hope you're a believer. But if, you've tried the whole church thing and, life groups didn't work out for you, go into coffee shops. I feel like also people do not want to do small talk anymore. I mean, I do hate the small talk sometimes. But I've met real friends through small talk, whether that was in the gym, asking someone, hey, you're doing leg day? Would you mind doing this workout with me? Or in the elevator, hey, how are you? Coffee shops, just simple, oh, I love your shoes, girls. Where'd you get those from? Oh, what perfume do you have on? I'm that person. I will talk to, initiate a conversation, and I don't expect a friendship to come out of every single one, but sometimes it does. And that's just where community starts. So if you are looking for community, I would just start there. Get comfortable with just talking to strangers. You're not always going to find your community by a mutual friend or by social media or people you know. Sometimes you just have to get comfortable with talking to a complete stranger who knows could turn out to be a lifelong friend. It has happened. It genuinely has happened for me. So yeah, guys, this is another episode of Life as Maya in bed. I don't think you guys will see my bed for a while, but I'm not going to promise that because who knows? I don't know. I might be back here next week, but I'm hoping to be back out on the couch, putting some makeup on, hair done, and getting back in front of the camera in a better space. But it's holiday season. Just got back from Thanksgiving. I'm still recovering. Life advice for you guys today. My life advice is going to be simple. Any opportunity you get to be a good villager, show up as a good villager. That's all I have. Take with that as you will. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me yapping. Hopefully it made sense. I really felt like I was rambling the whole time. But if I was, then you probably won't see this one. Anyways, guys, I really love you guys. We're at 2.07 subscribers right now. I would love to get to 2.5 by the end of the year. Do you think we could do that? 400 more subscribers this year. I think we could do it. I think we could do it with some serious determination. If every one of you guys watching likes this video and subscribes, and go follow me on my other social media. Love you guys and see you in the next one. Bye.